Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. As you can see, I am wearing my bacon suit. How is everybody today? Yeah, this is the bacon suit that the patrons picked out because they got to the goal of 40 patrons. I never thought that there would be 40 patrons, so I set this stupid thing where I would wear a bacon suit on a video if I got to it, and they proved me wrong. So, welcome to bacon wearing bacon. Yeah, so just a heads up for everybody. I recently worked on my computer, which you can't see, it's over there. It was crashing all night last night. I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning fixing it, put a new power supply in it, all kinds of stuff. So if the stream crashes, just you know what happened. It's my stupid piece of crap computer. Right now, the graphics card is being held up by some random stuff I found in a drawer because it turns out the problem is the graphics card is sagging, so it just randomly unloads the graphics driver. Gotta love computers. It's crazy. Well, there's a whole bunch of people in here already. Good to see you all. See Sunrise Water Media, DVS FPV, High Tech Redneck, Bort, Willie, Isaac, Apache. Hey, Apache, you made it to one. Yeah, I scheduled it at a time where people not in the United States could actually come to the live stream, which is I've been meaning to do for a long time. So I finally got around to doing that. What's up, Fatal and Carolyn Tyler? Good to see all of you. So today, yeah, there was going to be some question and answer. So if you have any questions, just shoot them out. But I'm also going to do something else while I'm dressed in the stupid bacon suit. We're going to fly some simulator, but it's not just any simulator. I have a very special simulator that I just put together for this particular stream, and we're going to have a lot of fun in it. So, yeah, Apache, he says, you make me feel like eating right now. I don't know what time it is there for you, but if it's appropriate, go grab yourself a BLT, man. Just skip the L and the T and go for the B only. Just bacon. Yeah, this thing is super not comfortable, and my head is incredibly large. Like, this is made for an adult human being, right? But the hole for your head is only this big. So, like, in order to speak and have my glasses on, I've got to like, yeah, I look stupid, but that's fine. It's fine. The patrons did it, so they deserve me looking stupid. That was the whole point. They wanted me to look stupid, and they got what they asked for. So let me see if everything's going on in the stream here. I don't see all my YouTube stuff that I normally see, so I'm hoping that I can get my comments up on this. It's just not. It's not showing it the way I want it to show it. That's fine. All right. Let's see here. All right. Oh, more people are in. Welcome, Nick. And yeah, what's up, Nick? Not much. Just me wearing this bacon suit. Willie has a question already. Cool. I'd like to ask about the ELRS backpack. I have a Boxer HD0 goggles, batch 2, and quad with the ELRS. Can you explain what I should do to use the backpack with my set? So, I actually have a video about how to set the backpack up. If you haven't seen it, Willie, it's on my channel. It's probably a few weeks ago. And if you can't figure it out, hit me up in the Discord. But it's actually pretty straightforward. The backpack functionality, if you have newer HD0 goggles, actually comes pre-flashed. So you just have to update the backpack on your Boxer, which is very easy inside the ELRS Lua script. Connect to Wi-Fi. That you start the Wi-Fi for the backpack, connect to it. Build your Wi-Fi firmware in the ELRS configurator for backpack specifically. It's a very different tab inside the configurator. Flash that to your radio, and then those two can bind to each other. But it should work pretty seamlessly with the Boxer because the Boxer is so new. So, but yeah, definitely check out that video. I walk through all the steps on that one. And if you have any questions about it, just hit me up in Discord. We can work through it. Carolyn Tyler says 8 p.m. there. Wow, 8 p.m. It's only 2 p.m. here, but it feels like 8 p.m. I didn't sleep very much last night working on this stupid computer. King Keck the channel. I almost missed this. Yeah, this is the only time you're ever going to see it. So I'm glad you didn't miss it. But there will be a replay of the stream. So whoever didn't see it gets to see it there. What's up, H2O and Ryan Bliss? Kevin K. Are you selling these outfits on your website after the stream? No. This came from Amazon for the whopping price of $15. And it's very clearly $15 worth of material. It's like super hot. I feel like I'm wearing a big rubber. No, never mind. I'm wearing something made of plastic. I'm not going to go there. Ryan Bliss, I'm working on building a tiny whoop racer while I'm watching this. I never put an HD0 whoop light bundle together. Do you have a quick rundown of steps? So Ryan, remind me if you've ever done HD0 at all, because if not, really the hardest part of using the whoop light is flashing it. So you do have to put the MIPI cable on the camera, which means you're going to have to take the back plate off of that little whoop light camera and snap the MIPI cable on there, but that's really as complicated as it is for the whoop light kit itself. You can pull the metal shields off if you're very gentle. They do pop off. Don't expect to get them back on completely. Sometimes the little clips that hold them, they're just thin and soldered to the board, so they break. But as far as soldering it up, if you're running BetaFlight 4.4, all you need is power. So you're going to want a 5-volt power feed. So you're going to need a 5-volt BEC connection. Or if you're running a 1S, you can run directly from VBAT, which if you're running 1S, I recommend you run off of VBAT instead of the 5-volt regulator, because the 5-volt regulator is going to have a hard time keeping up with 5 volts when your battery starts to get down in the 3.5 range. So yeah, you can totally run that off 1S or 5-volt. If you feel like the 5-volt regulator is going to be strong enough, run it off 5-volt. But all you need is power and one UART. And if you're using one UART in BetaFlight 4.4, you can use MSP VTX control inside of BetaFlight 4.4 to get your OSD and all of your VTX control information across the same UART. And that part I do have a video on my channel. I absolutely do have a video. It's something like Smart Audio is Dead HD0 something. That's the title of it, so look for it. But that will show you how to use VTX MSP control, MSP VTX control. Dyslexia just kicked in. Anyway, that'll get that done for you. But as far as the physical installation, it's really, really straightforward. And the soldering actually isn't even all that finicky on it for the size of the board. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, Ryan says he has not done HD0 before, coming from analog. Yeah, so it's different than analog in that your camera does not connect to the flight controller, completely standalone. So what I would do if I were you is I would use a 5-volt rail to power the VTX, connect one UART to it, make sure you're on BetaFlight 4.4, and then follow my video on how to get the MSP VTX control set up, because that will be the simplest thing. And when you're done, you'll be able to control the quad, the VTX, just like you would on an analog setup with the VTX tab and Smart Audio, only you'll be using MSP VTX control. And the system will be completely standalone for everything else. So OSD and Smart Audio will all come in over the UART that you've got connected. And that is honestly the simplest way for HD0. Paul Stevenson, serious grease in here today. Yeah. This actually, this suit was greasy when it showed up, which was not what I expected. It's clearly made in some kind of shop where they have 5 minutes to complete it. Fatal hit me with a $9.99. Thank you very much, Fatal. $9.99 super chat. What's your preferred freestyle rig other than 5-inch? I'm looking to build another size, and I'm leaning toward 3.5-inch. Yeah, so I feel like, especially in 2023, we're going to see a lot of 3 and 3.5-inch quads be a big thing. And I saw a Bot Grinder very early on. He might have left a comment earlier. I don't know if he's still in the stream. But he's actually got the Demibot, right? So he's got the 5-inch Demibot, which is really, really cool, really, really great basher. But I always used to watch Bot Grinder's videos when he would fly the BQE Ripsqueak, which is a smaller 3 or 3.5-inch quad, if I remember right. And I always loved when he flew that quad. And it sounds like that there may be some more designs coming from Tommy Tabahia and Bot Grinder collaborations. It'll be smaller sizes. And I am super stoked to build something on that frame because I feel like it's going to be a really, really awesome rig. Now, I do have the 3-inch that is the Siren F3 with the DJI O3 system in it. And I feel like by the end of 2023, we're all going to be really looking at maybe having something in the 3.5-inch in our fleets. Just because of the constraints that remote ID are going to put on people here in the United States. I think that a lot of vendors are going to start selling things in that price range or in that size range. The price range probably won't change at all, honestly. But yeah, I would look at 3.5-inch Fatal. I think 3.5-inch is a good place to be. 3-inch is also good. Anything lower than 3-inch, and you start to have some compromise for the prop size and the disc diameter when you're talking about freestyle. It starts to feel more. I'm not gonna say stiff. It's not that it just doesn't fling as well in that kind of weight and that kind of prop size. But 3.5-inch 3-blade props is a good place to be. So that's where I would look between 3 and 4 inches. Somewhere in that zone is where you probably want to wind up. But 3.5 is very common. So H2O says, I got a problem. I bricked my goggles. I'm kind of confused on the Phoenix. I think you mean the Phoenix flash for HD0. Yeah, that process is kind of complicated. Definitely, H2O, if you're not in the Discord, hit me up on the Discord so I can help you walk through that, because I'm going to have to go reference all of the stuff for the Phoenix flash, and I don't have a set of HD0 goggles anymore. I had to send them back. So definitely hit me up in the Discord or PM me on Discord, and I will help you walk through that, because I have seen that quite a few times, especially if you had older goggles that you're flashing newer firmware on, or newer goggles that you're somehow flashing older firmware on. There is a bricking problem with that. So yeah, let me know. H2O, thank you for the $5. I will definitely help you out in the Discord. It'd be really hard in chat because it's going to be a lot of back and forth. But yeah, after the stream, hit me up and I will pull up all that documentation and help you out with that. Quadbot says flying 3-inch now and like it a lot. Yep. Siren F3 split is his go-to frame. Yeah. It's a good frame. It's a really, really good frame. Very, very good frame. High Tech Redneck, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, High Tech Redneck. I see you all over the Discord lately. Always interesting things to say. I don't get to spend a lot of time typing in Discord lately. I've been working like 60 hours a week for the past while now. So I get to read the Discord, but I very rarely get to like sit down and type and say anything. So especially with my computer being broken, it's been going off and on for the last 2 weeks. So last night was the last straw. It ticked me off beyond all reason, so I had to fix it. Robert G, I live on a windy hilltop. Is 3-inch even feasible for me? Yes, totally is. Some of the videos I did where I flew the Siren F3 build or the Beast build, the wind was 20 plus miles an hour, and some of the gusts were up to 30. What's going to matter when you're flying in windy conditions is the weight of the quad. So my Beast build weighs in the mid 300s all up, which is pretty heavy for a 3-inch. But because of that, it's more stable in those kind of wind conditions, which is kind of one of the reasons why I built it the way I built it, because it's so windy where I live all the time. Totally can do it. You just have to build for that specific use case, because if it's too light, it'll bobble a lot. The air will be too dirty. And if you watch the intro video, which I don't know if you were here for, that is me flying the Unger CNC Jitterbug here, which is a 2-inch quad, and you can see it bobbles a little bit, and that's because it was windy while I was flying it. It bobbles in the wind. Yeah, Paul Stevenson, why did I need to send back the HC0 goggles? Because they weren't mine. Ryan Quellet let me borrow his extra pre-production set. I can't actually afford a set of HD0 goggles. So he let me borrow those, and I just had to return them to him so that he could let other people use them. I couldn't hoard them as much as I wanted to. But maybe someday I'll have my own set, and we'll be able to get back to making some content about those goggles. I hope so. Fun per volt. Dude, I'm assuming that's related to this. All right. Well, I think, let's see, we're 15 minutes in. I have some cool stuff to show you on the simulator. I'm not sure if we're ready to do that yet. One thing I did want to say to everybody before I go into doing anything else, the video that was going to come out today is about the Unger CNC Jitterbug. Luke Unger sent me his frame, and I put all the parts on. It's a really awesome little build, but it got delayed. So I'm going to have to it's going to come out tomorrow. So if you were looking for a video from me today, this will be the only one. And it's going to come out tomorrow because now I have to edit it tonight because last night my computer was dead. So, yeah, definitely hit that up because that frame is really, really cool. Luke cuts his own stuff. He has his own little CNC, which a lot of people in FPV do, but he has his own little shop, and he really pays some crazy amounts of attention to the control of quality and the control of components on his frame builds. And yeah, it's actually a really, really good frame. I'm excited to show it to everybody. Gap Rock. Today's stream brought to you by Bacon in a Pill Bottle. Yes, that is what's holding up my GPU and my computer right now, is a old pill bottle and the back of a Radio Master TX12 radio, the little plate that you put in there. Yeah, that is what's holding up my GPU to make this continue to work. Brandon Beans, glad I stopped over. This is great. Yes, get your fill of this thing going on. I promised that I would wear it through an entire video. So, I have to wear it through an entire video, no matter how much it annoys the crap out of me. Yeah, that saggy GPU did really ruin my day. It really did ruin my day. I was super mad last night before I went to bed because I spent 7 hours troubleshooting this computer. It's kind of like FPV stuff, but I spent 7 hours troubleshooting it, swapped out all kinds of things, couldn't get any consistent results. And then I'm like, well, it worked when I swapped the power supply, but I didn't have the power supply in the case. I had it sitting on top of the case, and the PCIe cables were holding the GPU up. And that's why it worked. So I eventually figured that stupid thing out, and then put a spacer in there. Now I've ordered a proper thing that's not a pill bottle, but Quadbot 4, do you see a reason to use 6S on a 3-inch? I'm using 4S, and I think it performs just fine. Also, the FC stack would seem more resilient on 4S, even though it's rated for 6S. So yes and no, Quadbot. There's two things to consider there. Whenever you're talking about the resiliency of the FC, you're normally talking about voltage spikes, which, very true, 6S voltage spikes are going to be more severe. Not that they're going to waver more. You're not going to get like 30 more volts than you would on 4S during a spike just because of 6S. But what's more important for resiliency is the amp consistency. So whenever you're running higher kV motors for 4S, you're actually pulling more amps out of the pack. And since 4S packs are lighter than 6S packs, and they're usually bigger for the same flight time, you can pull more amps out of the pack. But that also means you're putting more amps through your ESC. So at 6S, you're actually putting less amps through your ESC, or somewhat less amps through your ESC, and the FETs like that more long term. So you tend to have safer conditions as long as you're not running like 6S high volt packs or 6S on super high kV motors that aren't really made for the range you're supposed to be in. Then the amp draw is actually less, and your ESC could potentially last longer. And as far as 6S versus 4S, it's not really about power output at all. It's more for me about the consistency of the pack. So since I want to run smaller packs on 6S, since they weigh more, I am using 6S so that as the pack tapers off toward the end, I don't get a whole lot of sag. And with 4S, because I do have some 4S 3-inch quads and 3.5-inch quads, they tend to sag under 3.6 volts, 3.7 volts. You start to feel the sag in the pack, where with 6S, I don't feel it till like I'm at 3.5 or 3.4, and then it's very hard drop off. But I'd rather have that so I can get every little bit of performant flight out of the pack. So that's why I run 6S on it. If 4S is working for you though, then don't change a thing. Run 4S. Totally fine to run 4S. Will FPV, have you ever 3D printed sub 3-inch frames? No, I have not. I do know some people that have. It's so hard to get a good 3D printed frame unless you're doing something like a 65 millimeter that's really small, where you can make it slightly thicker and use some harder material like FET or PETG maybe, but definitely not PLA. Then it's going to have a whole lot of shake. At 65 millimeters, the arms aren't long enough to really do too much, and most of those designs are single bottom plate anyway. So it's not too bad there, but moving up into 3-inch or anything where the arms are more than 1.5 inches or so from where the FC is going to be is going to be, it's going to be rougher. So no, I haven't tried it, but I do know lots of people that have. I'm just not brave enough to try to tune something like that, honestly. Borked, print a GPU spacer. I could, but the one I got lights up. Can't do that with printing. You gotta have a light up GPU spacer. Come on, man. I got RGB all in here that you can't see. It's gotta light up. It's gotta match the theme. King Keck, the channel. I gotta take my son and myself shopping for the new threads. Yep. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping by and checking me out in the bacon suit here. Yeah, Willie. I don't have the HC0 goggles, but I do fly HC0. I have the VRX4 in my Sky Zones. I've just been doing a lot of testing on Walksnail lately because I'm waiting on the HD0 like firmware iteration to get to where I want it to be to start testing more of that more often. And right now, Walksnail is kind of in a firmware iteration. So I've been flying a lot more Walksnail, trying to test out their new firmware versions and their new features. But I will get back into HD0 pretty soon because now the VRX4 is going to be able to support 1080p. If it doesn't already, it's going to support 1080p 30, I believe. So I want to get back into trying all those things for sure. But all right, so we are 25 minutes into the stream. I am going to start up my radio because I'm going to show you guys a simulator that I am super excited to play on stream today.
Welcome to OpenTX.
You hear my Bardwell? You might not have heard it. My Bardwell voice pack on my radio. I use the Bardwell voice pack. Let me start this up because I won't be able to see your comments unless this works while I'm playing. It'll be really super hard to read. There we go. Give me the live chat. Give me the live chat, YouTube. You won't give me the live chat. Okay. USB joystick, HID. You have to select that. Simulators, man. This is a simulator that's not a simulator. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about. We're about to start it up. While that's getting started, Apache says, I've got a Meteor 65 for repair. It got totally screwed up. I got it working again, but the gyro is locked bricked. Yeah, that's a problem. That's actually a known problem, I believe, with the board that's in that. That if you flash it, or you start it up once at all, it bricks the gyro, and I don't remember how to undo it. But Beta FPV had a rash of that with one particular flight controller. So sounds like you might have caught that one, buddy. All right, let me start this up. Start up the game because it's not a normal simulator. Move this over here so I can see. And then we're going to go to... All right. I use StreamYard for all of my streaming, and I have Streamlabs. StreamYard makes it really hard to see the chat when you're not looking directly at the screen. And I can't have it up on like another device or anything, so I'm sorry. It's gonna be kind of a pain. But oop, the layout's wrong. Come on. Add to it. Come on. StreamYard is killing me. Stop killing me, StreamYard. Invert these two things, please. Oh no. It's not working. I did this literally 10 minutes ago and it worked. Come on. Come on. You can do it. All right. Well, I want to wait. I want to make this work. Let me press some more buttons. Let me click on this harder and see what happens. Let me see here. Yeah. What's up, Nasty? Took that dab and saw bacon literally dressed like a piece of bacon. Yeah. For sure. Why is it not giving me my stupid thing? Hold on a minute. I'm just going to redo this whole layout. The whole layout getting redone. Hold on a minute. We're going to undo this whole layout. I got to add a camera slot. StreamYard is really, really getting it here. All right. This one goes to the back. This one goes here. I'm going to redo the whole thing live. We're going to do it live. All right. Now, if you already know what this is because you can see the stars, then you know what's about to happen. If you already know based on just that, then things are going down. Okay, so this is, yeah. This is not a simulator. It's not a simulator. It's a simulator that's not a simulator. It's actually a really cool game made by Rockstar. It's Grand Theft Auto. We are going to sim in Grand Theft Auto. I didn't know if you guys know that you can do this in Grand Theft Auto with a mod. You can turn it into an FPV simulator, which is really, really cool. because Grand Theft Auto has a ton of different area varieties to fly in. A ton. It'll load here in a second. Let me save this so I don't mess it up. All right. Entering story mode. GTA Online. You cannot play online with this mod. That is one thing you can't do. It will totally screw up your... It'll ban you, actually. If you do it right, it won't even let you play online. Come on. Load up. My computer's, like, huffing real hard over here. Watch, now it won't load. It'll not load just because it's on a live stream. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, Willie, he says, what's your thoughts about the Walksnail new version, the 3.9, 3.310? I haven't flown that yet, actually. This weekend, I'm going to fly that, but I have not got to do it yet. Oh, come on, Grand Theft Auto. It's stuck now. It's totally stuck now. Just happens to be on a live stream. Everything goes wrong when you're doing it live. Every possible thing. We're going to have to restart this game. Hold on. I don't think it's going to roll. Let me close it. Close it and open up Epic again. We will get there. I'm going to have to Control-Alt-Delete and kill this stupid game. Come on. Welcome to my entire weekend. Basically this. Morton Upshot. No, I'm not always wearing a bacon suit. I just am today. It's a special occasion. Where do I get a bacon hat? Fun Perbolt says. Amazon. I'm sure they have them. I need to get some. I really should, I should make a bacon hat as merch. I have a million ideas about different merch items to make. I just have not made any of them. I never seem to have time to do it. So... Yeah, Patsy Smoke says you can actually use weapons in this, which I'm going to show you. It's kind of cool. I like to take out birds and things while flying my drone. It's like I'm patrolling my own skies here. All right, let's see if story mode loads better this time. It should not take that long. I'm running on a PCI Express NVMe drive here. Should load fast. Gaprock says bacon wallpaper on the quad wall. I can't put any wallpaper on it. I rent this house. I wish I could. I would totally put I'd totally put noise isolation panels on or something. But yeah, because I'm renting, I can't do any of that. Okay, so we're gonna go into drone mode, and before I go into drone mode, I'm gonna set it where I'm never wanted and I'm invincible. Because that's always more fun. But yeah, I am totally flying with my TX16S in Grand Theft Auto. Live. And we're going to hope the GPU doesn't just crash out. But watch this too. You can go into pools. My drone is conformal coded. That's not realistic. All right. Let's see. What kind of trouble can we get into here? What kind of trouble can we get into in Vice City? This isn't Vice City. What is this? What town is GTA 5 in the GTA universe of places? I don't remember. I don't remember what town it is. One thing I'll say about this, if you try to do it, let's see if this billboard lets me. Some of these billboards and things, you can't actually go under. It was never made to have player interaction. So some of the gaps are actually closed in with invisible walls. And it gets really, really annoying when you go to hit a gap that doesn't actually exist. Oh, I hit the ground. I was going to go under here and do a power loopsy. There we go. I think I terrified those people down there. Let's go downtown. What do you say? There's big buildings down there. The big buildings are always more fun to fly in. I have to keep looking. I have to keep looking to the right to see my chat. Because YouTube won't show me my chat either. Nothing works on a live stream. The trees are also really fun to fly in here. And sometimes you can get through them like that. Like I can go through the branches. Other times they're totally closed. And you can't go through them. And then you just wind up whacking yourself on stuff. And the physics aren't perfect. But I will say that it has a lot of physics adjustments. Come here, car. You got me. You can also do this. Boom! You can blow up stuff. I have it set to a switch on my radio that shoots a rocket launcher. Yeah, Matthew, it feels good. It doesn't feel bad at all. It does take a lot of GPU though. So like if you don't have a really high-end GPU, it can be rough. But I'm running this on a 3070, an RTX 3070 with a AMD Ryzen 5 6800X3D processor and 32 gigs of high-speed memory. So my rig's pretty good for this stuff. With my 2070 Super, it didn't really work well at all. It was pretty bad. I got under the truck. Sometimes you can't get under these either. Like, see, I know I didn't hit anything under there like this, but there's an invisible wall underneath the trucks. No, I got run over. Darn it. I got run over. I know in real life I could not have made it through that bush. It would have never happened. All it takes is one pole to have fun, people. You just need to find one pole. It's the one pole to rule them all. I'm a Lord of the Rings nut. Sue me. I'm a nerd, everyone. I'm sitting here in a baking costume, playing a computer game. Clearly a nerd. All right, the sun's coming up here in Rockford Hills, apparently. Let's cause some havoc. Boom. 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 And yes, I am dive bombing people in acro. Gap Rock. Yes, that's exactly yes. He said that's what she said. I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you did. All right. Did you see that? Did you see that hot air balloon? Hold on. I'm gonna bail out of my power loop. Boom. Haha. I got the hot air balloon. Okay, anyway. Back to the power loop. There's a whole lot to do in this. It's actually really not hard to mod this to work. It's really not hard at all. You just have to install the game, and you can get it from basically anywhere. I'm using Epic Games because I had it on Epic Games. So you just have to install the game and then go into the games directory and install some files. You just basically drop some files in there. You don't really have to physically install anything to mod this. And then you can use some different keyboard shortcuts to set up all the FPV stuff. Like in here, we can set all the different rates, camera, physics, everything you want to do. It's actually pretty comprehensive. So, Matthew, no, I don't fly for a living. I don't fly FPV for a living. I am a professional computer nerd. I don't think I could fly FPV for a living. I think that it would... Oop, that was not good. I think that I would lose all enjoyment out of it if I did it for a living. Because it's kind of that time that I get that's not the everything else that I do. That's super technical all day long. I mean, this is technical stuff, but it's kind of a relaxing break for me. Something that's not paying my bills that I can work on, basically. Was there a fire truck? There was a fire truck. Ba-doom. Ha-ha. Fire. And you can, I think I can change the weapon to be like fireworks and a bunch of other stuff. So let's go further downtown. There's bigger buildings over here. I'm gonna take my hands off the controls so that I can move my stupid hair out of the way in this bacon suit. No fail safe. The whole city. Fun for Volt. Must be using Express LRS. We're definitely not using FR Sky here. So yeah, you can really get some awesome dive practice in down here in downtown. I've actually never flown down here before. That's the first time I'm diving these ones. Woo! Didn't quite line up that line the way I wanted, but oh, scrape the ground. That would not have been in real life the same way. Ooh, there's a concave or a convex building here too. Nice wall ride. That wasn't quite close enough though. Wasn't close enough. Get closer, Bacon. Ah, there we go. And the people standing on the ground did not care at all. Did not care at all, those people. Is there any possibility, let's see, Kevin K, is there any possibility to record the OSD and the DVR with Goggles V2? No, there is not. But what I will say is that if you have the WTF OS root, it will record an OSD file. And if you use that OSD file after you've got the DVR recordings, ooh, that was bad. You can actually merge it on top of the DVR recording. So you can put the DVR back on the DVR, or the OSD back on the DVR footage. It just requires a manual process and re-exporting the video with it attached. So it's not as easy as it would be in something like Analog or HD0 where it natively records it. Or with DJI O3, it will actually just record it right on there too. But that requires the Goggles 2 instead of the Goggles V2. What's up, Andy Taylor? We're just playing around here. Is there another blimp? There's another blimp. Get out of my airspace, blimp. Get out of my airspace. Yes, this is my town. This is my town, blimp. None of that. Okay, back downtown here. The bigger building. Let's go do some big building dives between these streets. I could never do this in real life. There's not a place that I could possibly go where I could do stuff like this. Ooh, not close enough to the building. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. Bail out. This is close enough. Nope, not really. I gotta get closer. It's not a building dive if you can't like smell the windows. I wonder if I can trippy spin this set of trees. I can't trippy spin between them. I am not good at trippy spins. I can do them, but making them super tight or something, I'm not great at. See, I hit the ground. I'm not good at those. There's so many infractions. Yep, so many infractions, 1 per volt. The FAA is not present in Grand Theft Auto, so... Oh, come on, I'm not too far from that blimp. I know I can get it. Come here, blimp. I'm going to get close to you. Stay out of my airspace, blimp. Woo! And now we just dive down forever. Just raining blimp pieces onto the highway. Thanks, Kevin K, for a €2 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Just playing around here. Having some fun on a Saturday. Actually, I just installed this yesterday, and that's what led me to find that my stupid computer was crashing all the time, more than I would have liked. So, I haven't really got to play with it too much, other than just figuring out how it works. What's up, Fly Zone Drone? Matt Malure, do you know how I can use my phone as a viewing screen for someone to see what I see in the goggles? You have the Goggles V2. So, yes, you would, again, I don't know if they patched it. Sorry, I'm having to talk and fly. I don't know if they patched it, but there was a FPV, like a video out project for V2 goggles, and you install an app on your Android phone. Has to be an Android phone though, and you can plug in over USB to the phone and get the video out as a second monitor. I've done it with my V2 goggles. I remember it being a little flaky. Sometimes it would work, and other times it just would not work. But for the most part, it worked. But definitely an Android phone, and having the WTFOS route seemed to make it easier and more functional for me. What happens if you run into a pet? Asked Caprock. Let's see. What does happen if I run into a pet? I know if I run into a car, obviously I'm going to hit it. Where is someone walking? Walk somebody. There's somebody. No, that's someone. Oh, yeah. Bam. Nothing. I really don't think anything happens. I think they don't react at all. No, is he trying to shoot me? Are you trying to shoot me, bro? Are you trying to shoot me, bro? Really? That's how we're going to play this? Well, come at me. Come at me, bro. There you go. Don't shoot at me. Glancing below FPV. DigiView sucks. Yeah. I think I did try the DigiView app. I think I did. Isn't the FPV out project different though? I feel like I have to look at my phone and see what I still have installed for it. I don't remember exactly what I still have installed to do it, but I know it is possible. It's not as pretty a picture as what you see in the goggles, and it's not like you could fly with it. You can't fly with it. It's too laggy for that. But yeah. Ross, yep, GTA 5 FPV mod. This is the Redux, though. This is the FPV mod Redux. It adds a little bit of new features and some new Scripthook 5 stuff for a newer model of Scripthook, anyway. So. Flyzone, did you try the wide FPV? What you mean? What you mean the wide FPV, Flyzone? I don't know what you're talking about. In this? I haven't messed with a whole lot of settings in this, so there's probably a bunch of stuff that I have not yet seen. Oop, didn't land on that roof correctly. Okay, I want to go back to the buildings, because I feel like I'm getting off the... I'm getting out of where I want to be. I want to fly these buildings. Or just run straight into them like an idiot. You gotta make your own sound effects. Woo! Burp. Just give it a love tap. It's fine. Someone will come along and wash it, and they'll never know I hit it. Right through the trees. Sometimes the trees clip, and other times they don't. All right. I'll try to look over here to the comment section real quick. Kevin K. No OSD file recorded. I've installed the package for it. I use the O3 Air Unit. So if you installed the package for it, it's not going to work with the O3 Air Unit because it is only that package is only for the Vista. If you're using O3, you have to have the goggles 2 to get that. So you're not going to get it at all, unfortunately. The goggles 2 or the goggles Integra are the only ones that are going to have any ability to record OSD, and they're not going to make a file. They're just going to record it right on top. But if you're using a Vista, the WTFOS will record a file for the OSD. So, sorry for that not great answer. That's not what anyone wants to hear, but DJI really wants people to buy the O3 and the Vista and the goggles too. They clearly don't want people to continue to use the V2 any longer than they have to. So it's been pretty obvious now that they stopped giving us good Vista support on the goggles too if we flash to an O3 compatible version. Oh, Flyzone, DigiView to stream. No, I haven't. I don't think I ever want to stream like live FPV content. I feel like I know too many people who have had some pretty bad results from that. So I'd always rather do it recorded than live. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea for sure. I haven't tried it, and where I normally fly, there's horrible, terrible internet connectivity. There's almost no 4G. I landed upside down. Ross, it'd be funny if you could play them regular storyline as a drone, the regular storyline. Yeah, definitely can't do that, but I bet it would make a whole lot of things simpler. There are some things, like I haven't tried. Let's see. There's a whole menu of things that I haven't actually tried for this. There are events, racing tracks, chasing. Let's do some chasing. City cruiser, mountain bike, alpine adventure, supercar sting. Let's look at alpine adventure. What is alpine adventure? Load that up. Oh no, it's all choppy now. It's not good. It's real bad. Loading that did not do good things to my computer. It's struggling. It does that sometimes in GTA, and I don't know why, and I wind up having to like shut it down and start over. May have to start it over. We may be done with the simming session. Yeah. Like, perfectly fine in the menus. Not perfectly fine when flying. It does that occasionally. Yeah, even like my player. See, he's all choppy. That ruined it. I shouldn't have started that. Totally killed it. Let me get out of this real quick. And then I'm going to start reading some chats. Get back to the chat. I feel like I've been missing out on the chat for a long time. All right. Pull this over here. I'm full screen again. Fly zone. Wide FPV is new, like DigiView. Yeah, I haven't tried that one. I will have to try it. If it's better than DigiView, that would be awesome. H2O, check you out later, man. Has to sleep. Great live stream. Thank you. Talk to you on Discord. Yep, hit me up on Discord. I'm always on Discord, everybody. I read it, but as a lot of people will tell you, there are times where it may be 2 or 3 days before I can reply to a direct message. But I will reply to you eventually. I try to all the time. So, Kevin K, yeah, do you think that will come in the future? If you're talking about the O3 Air Unit with the goggles V2 and the DVR recording or the OSD recording, the reason why that doesn't work is because the goggles 2, the V2, don't have the internal processing power to overlay an OSD file and put it on the DVR. And the reason why we don't have that right now, I believe, is because the O3 Air Unit hasn't been routed by the FPV WTF group. I don't know if they are. If we ever get them to route the O3 Air Unit, then I imagine we can make that work. I don't know that they're ever going to route it, though, or be able to route it, because a different team at DJI clearly designed the O3 system, and it's likely that it has very different layouts for all of its stuff than what they were used to on the Vista. So it may be a while. I mean, we might not see it happen for a while. We may eventually see it, but I wouldn't bank on it for now. Yeah. It would be really cool, though. I really wish we did. Gap Rock coming soon. RDR2 FPV mod. That would be sweet. It's the same engine, I think, as GTA 5. So we totally should be able to get a Red Dead Redemption 2 version of the FPV mod. That would be super awesome. Flying in Westernville. We could do that. I would totally be down. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 in a long time, but I would really like to play some Red Dead Redemption 2. What all did I miss in the comments here? I have missed a whole lot of things, I am sure. It was really hard to read the comments since they were on the side of it the whole time. How's everybody doing out there? What are you building? What is on your workbench right now? I have on my workbench the Tiny Hawk 2 Freestyle, which I haven't flown this quad in a long time. actually. It's still got FR Sky. It is literally the only quad that I own that still has FR Sky in it. And I did do the antenna mod. That is clearly not the stock antenna. It's still got the exact same flight controller and ESC board that that I had in it when I bought it. So what else do I have? I have the Darwin. This is the Tiny 8 Freestyle. It's just a chassis though, because that's what I took everything out of to put this in. Yeah. Fly Zone Drone says the bot frame. You talking about the Demi bot? You got your hands on a Demi bot. They're all sold out now. That thing is super duper popular. But I mean, when you get Bot Grinder and Tommy Tabahia on the same project, how can you go wrong, right? That's got to be really good. I haven't got a chance to fly it, and I totally would. I would totally build a Demi bot. I just don't think I could do it justice because I don't bash hard enough to really put it through its paces. Because I just don't have places to run it into. But I totally would. Glancing Blow FPV just ate pizza with bacon on it. Did your pizza look like this? Did it look like this? If it did, I'm sorry. You're probably going to have food poisoning. Kevin K's working on an AOS 3.5 4S03. Yep, that's why you're asking about the OSD questions. O3. The O3 Air Unit is great. It's a great system. I own 2 of them, and I won't own any more. That doesn't mean it's a bad system. It's just expensive. I find myself building so many quads that either I'd have to yank my O3 Air Unit out of other quads, which I still like to fly those quads, or I'd have to own a bunch of O3 Air Units, and I just can't justify owning them. Cannot. But they are really nice. What's up, Victorfly? Welcome to the stream, Victorfly. You missed all of my Grand Theft Auto 5 flying, where I was destroying Zeppelins and things in Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm going to give my computer a minute to calm down. We may get back to that before I end the stream, though. Because it was a lot of fun. If you've never played the GTA 5 Redux mod, in fact, let's see. Let me pull it up on my other screen over here. 5 FPV Redux. I will show it to you because it is worth knowing. Okay. So this is the mod that I was flying earlier. If you wind up going back in the stream and looking at it, or you see me fly it later, yeah, this is the Quadcopter Redux for FPV, and it gives you the guide and all the stuff you need to do it. Installation is very easy. All the key bindings, you can get unstuck. The hardest part for me was getting my radio actually properly bound in it. So other than that, it's just a bunch of copying files. It really wasn't too bad at all. Glancing Blow. I've got a strong stomach. If your bacon looked like this, you don't have a chance. This make anybody sick. Your constitution can't save you. Yeah. Flyzone Drone, best thing about the O3 Air Unit, you really don't need a GoPro. That's very true. If you don't want to run a GoPro, the O3 Air Unit is completely viable as an option to not run a GoPro. Personally, I still run a GoPro just because I like to color grade my footage, and the O3 Air Unit's footage, although it can be color graded because it's the same sensor as the Avata, which I have back there somewhere, it just doesn't do it for me. The GoPro color science is just a little bit better, so for what I like to do with it, the GoPro still works better. But O3 Air Unit footage is perfectly good. You can totally run no action cam on top and be fine. Let's see here. What else was I going to do on the live stream other than look stupid for everybody? We have to decide what I'm going to do when I get... So this was for when I got to 40. I got to 40 patrons and channel members. When I get to 100, though, which, again, when I set the goal for 40, I thought, nah, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to wind up in a video wearing a stupid-looking bacon suit. Well, look at me. I'm sitting here wearing a stupid-looking bacon suit. We have to figure out what's going to happen when I get to 100. Yeah. It's got to be terrible. I've got to set an idea of something to keep people from to keep that from happening. I've got to make it really bad. Oh, I just whacked my microphone. Apache, the bacon strip would be okay to eat. Not sure about the filling. The filling is the worst part. The filling is just, yeah, it's the worst. You don't want any of that. Cooked bacon hair extensions. Would you have to thread those in or something? Would I have to go somewhere to have that done? It would probably be easier if it wasn't cooked too, or if it was still floppy. I guess you could do that. Maybe I need to get like a bacon tattoo. Maybe that's what I should do for 100 patrons. Is get a bacon tattoo. I have a tattoo. For anyone who doesn't know, I do have a tattoo. I have one solitary tattoo. My wife is super into tattoos, so she has quite a few, but I have one. Frontline. Fatal. No, Fatal. Bad Fatal. Calm down, Fatal. I will not wear a bacon bikini. For one, it would take quite a large bikini. For two, how would I get that to be approved on a YouTube live stream? I would get demonetized permanently and probably banned. And although I don't do any monetization for ads or anything, but I do have channel subscriptions on, so it'd go away. See you later, Glancing Blow. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Fatal in his thong ideas. You've clearly never met me in person. This is not something you want to see. Nope, not at all. I have a new puppy, and she is whining at the door right now. I guess nobody else is in the living room. Could totally be a start for my OnlyFans. No, definitely not. That kind of start would just put it right into the dirt from the beginning. We have to talk about drones, Fatal. This is a drone live stream. This is not about. It's not about that. It has to be drone related. Of course, I'm doing right. See, I am doing drone related things. I have a drone lanyard on. It's related. We have to make it relatable. But it does have to be good. When I hit 100, it has to be good. It has to be really good. I am super thirsty. It is very hot in here. In this rubber bacon suit that I'm wearing. Well, did anybody out there have Orca goggles that got bricked the last week or so? Tell me if you did. I had the Orca goggles at one point. Somebody sent me their race Orca goggles, and I tried them, and I did a video on them. And if you haven't seen that video, it's on my channel. It's actually one of the first videos where I tried to really have more fun with the production value of the video. And I thought it come out really well. It's kind of long, but it has a lot of jokes in it. That's the fun part. But I tried them, and I really didn't like. They were good, right? The panels were good. Everything was good except for the connectivity. But I feel like this whole situation with Orca, where it's ransomware or it's licensing, is kind of a whirlwind to me. So I come from a background of I am an IT guy, and also I run dev teams. So I know several languages that I code in, and I know a lot of people that do. And the only thing I really haven't done is the low level stuff, like a bootloader, but not the kind of stuff that you put on your flight controllers. That kind of stuff I haven't done before. And my opinion on it, this is just my opinion, the whole idea that it's ransomware or that it's licensing. Definitely, it was not a licensing thing. It was 100% not a licensing thing, because if it was, Orca would have had to have signed something relating to that and agreed to it. But on the other end of it, Orca definitely should have reviewed their code. Definitely should have reviewed the code. I understand it was a closed bootloader, but I never would have included that in my production package if I hadn't reviewed the code. Because if I paid to use the code, then I would be paying to see the code. I wouldn't want my deliverable package to be a pre-done code block. I would want to see it. Robert G. Glad I went for Sky Zone instead of Orca. I love my Sky Zones. The Orcas, they're really nice goggles. They have a bunch of features. They have great OLEDs. The technology is going to get outdated because they aren't iterating that technology. But for what they are very good goggles. The Sky Zones are very good too. The Sky Zones are clearly made, not as they're not as premium for sure, as the Orcas are. But SkyZone also either knows what's in their code or makes it themselves. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Joseph just came by in WTF. Yeah, I told everybody I'm gonna wear a bacon suit. It's in the title. This is the one where bacon dresses stupid. It's the one and only time. If I'm not like underneath this bacon costume is an FPV t-shirt, because if I'm on camera, there should be an FPV t-shirt involved. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard from anybody in my Discord about the Orcas if they were bricked. I hope you can't hear that puppy whining. She's whining like crazy. I haven't heard from anybody in my Discord have their Orcas bricked, but if anybody has, definitely let me know, because I'd like to know what the experience was like when you booted them up and what it did, and if you were able to recover them. I know Joshua Bardwell did a video about unbricking them, and if you didn't see the thumbnail for that video, it's literally terrifying. You should definitely check it out. You might want to download it and make it your wallpaper on your phone, because I'd highly recommend it. That picture Bardwell took of himself is something else. I see it in my nightmares. So, let's see. Let's see if my Grand Theft Auto is going to recover here in a minute. We're going to have to start that back up. Thanks, man. $10 super chat from Joseph. Thank you very much. If you guys don't know who Joseph is, yeah, he runs one of the best, if not the best, FPV groups on Facebook. It's the Beginner to FPV. And if you are a beginner to FPV, you belong in that Facebook group. If you haven't seen it, you should go there and definitely join, because that is one of the only places in FPV that I've seen so much positivity and helpfulness in a Facebook group. Yeah, it is great. He runs that. So definitely props to him. Thank you very much, Joseph. Apache, the puppy needs some bacon. She needs some something. She's this big. Like this big. That big? That big? No, she's like that big. She's a Chiweenie puppy, so she's itty bitty. She's just in there whining her butt off. It happens. Robert G. It was an evil Easter egg. Easy to hide low-level assembly code. I've written a bootloader in a fiber optic module circa 2002. Yeah, I mean, you can hide it in there. True. Yeah. If you're getting an assembly code, that's true. It'd be harder to see. I would hope that Orca was more involved in the development process, but maybe no one at Orca has that knowledge level at all, or has the knowledge level to be involved in it in that degree to know what that would have done had they seen it. But yeah, fiber optic module, writing bootloaders for a fiber optic module in 2002. What kind of connector was on the fiber optic module? That's my question. In 2002, what was the popular one then? Frontline Fatal. How about a live giveaway of a piece of your merch on me? But what piece of merch? I only have 2 shirts, man. I only have 2 shirts. But totally, if you want to do it, Fatal, we could totally do it. There are 30 people in here right now that could potentially win a piece of merch given away by Frontline Fatal. If you're cool with that, Fatal, we can run that in a minute. The flying grip, like the threads. Yeah, this isn't really thread. This is more like pressed styrofoam. There's thread holding the edges together. That's true. Sea bags. Just waiting for my new Impulse RC Apex Evo. Ordered T-Moda Alpha T-Moda Alpha G4 HD for it. The 60 amp ESC. Which motors do you guys think I should use? Mr. Steel motors? 60 amp ESC. I'm not gonna say that you should run Mr. Steel motors. I don't honestly think that you're not getting a lot of benefit for the money in the Mr. Steel motor. And it's gonna the motor's really gonna depend on what you want to do with it. Are you trying to go fast? Are you trying to get a lot of control? Those kind of things. Obviously, you're putting a T-motor stack in there. T-motor motors are wonderful. You could get some T-motor motors. Xing motors are really good. I have been really into the RC Empowers lately. Their 2207 Plus, or the GTS V4s, are very, very good. For 6S, they come in a 20 by 20 kV, which is a little higher than usual, which would be great for that 60 amp ESC. So if I just had to throw one out there, not knowing what you really want to do with the quad, I would go with the GTS V4 RC Empowers at 2020 kV in 6S. That would be a really good setup. Frontline, one or the other. How much? I don't know what they are anymore. Let me go to it real quick. Let's look at my merch. Hold on. Let me pull up an Edge browser. Let me pull up an Edge browser and share it. Let's see. Share screen. Window. Edge. Share. All right. Let's look at my bonfire. Man, I gotta remember how to do this. Oh, I'm gonna hide this for a second while I log in. Can't see my login. You can hear me type it though. A bunch of times. I don't remember what it costs. I picked Bonfire because they seem to have pretty good quality control. Like, I know some people that have bought it and it actually was good quality where other places were not at all. So that's pretty much why I picked it. But let me go back to my store here. Okay, so now let's share it. Let's share it now. Oh, thanks again, Joseph. $10 super chat. I appreciate you, man, for the commitment. Really appreciate you, dude. This is my merch site, if you didn't know. I have the FPV breakfast shirt. So FPV with bacon and eggs. It comes in several colors: the tee, the pullover hoodie, and the classic tee. And then I also have the flying bacon. It says let's get greasy under it. So yeah, that is the extent of my merch right now. I have some other stuff that, like, Radbeard drew me something, and I have yet to actually make it. I have actually yet to make it at all. But he did a great job, and I haven't got it on here. But I have the two, so either one of them are fine, and in a t-shirt, it would probably be okay. So we can give away your choice of a t-shirt at my merch store here in a minute. We can do that. Let's see, it's 3:09. I'm going to stream for another 40 minutes. In 20 minutes, we can give it away. So everybody that's here in 20 minutes, there are currently 28 people here. Everybody's here in 20 minutes. We will give that away. On Fatal, because Fatal says, give out that merch. Thank you for the $19.99 super chat, Fatal. We could totally do that. What's up, Carbon Cage? What's cracking, Bacon McSackin? What time is it here for me? It is 3:10. It's 3:10 for me. Right in the middle of my afternoon. Almost time to go start dinner for my kids, which will happen at 4-ish, but not quite the morning. I normally fly this time of day, but it is already, how hot is it outside? It's over 90 degrees Fahrenheit here today, so I'm not going to go. I'm not ready for summertime when it's 110 outside. Robert G. 10 gigahertz XFP modules. Nice. 10 gigahertz in 2002? Nice. What nanometer was the fiber, though? I'm getting nerdy. I got to stop being nerdy. All right. Fatal says, t-shirts are $25. Hope you're good with this. Winner picks t-shirt of choice. Yes, Fatal. In 20 minutes at 3:30 my time, which is in 19 minutes now, we will give away a t-shirt of choice on Fatal. Thank you, Fatal. I'm going to have to figure out how we do that, though. That'll be the question. That'll be the question. Let's see. Can I do a poll? Can I do a poll? I wish that YouTube would give me my controls. For some reason, it's giving me none of my controls for this stream at all. Would be really cool if it would. What's up, Kevin James? Welcome to the stream. Apache, you're disqualified, Apache. Just because. You're not disqualified. It's okay. It's all right. I'm just kidding. You're supposed to be asleep during my live streams, Apache. I'm working on a budget build almost according to your tutorial series. Pretty good guide. Thank you very much. Yeah. A lot of, no, I'm not going to say a lot of, there were several companies that I asked to help out with that thought it was a terrible idea. So I'm glad I did it anyway. Yeah, I'm glad I did it anyway. Because I think it has helped a lot of people out. And I know that several people have gotten in the air with that particular build. So awesome that you're building one. Borked. Rode a bike 20 miles and flew this morning. So much fun. Needed it. I could do the fly part, but not the bike for 20 miles. That's all you, buddy. You can have all 20 of those miles. Yes, thank you. The patrons made me wear this wonderful costume. Wonderful plastic costume. You cannot tell on the web page when you purchase it that it is made of plastic, but it is made of plastic. Gap Rock. Pouring rain here, so I terrorized the cast with whoops and murdered half the town in Red Dead Redemption 2. I really need to download it again. I had it on Xbox. I think it's on Game Pass, so I need to download it again. I get literally zero time to play computer games, though. If I do, it's always a simulator. Always a simulator when I'm playing computer games. Let's see here. How do I want to do this giveaway? How are we going to do it? Let's see. Okay. I think there's a way in StreamYard to do this. I have never done one of these in StreamYard. All right. Yeah, Will FPV says pick a number. I think StreamYard will let me do it. I think they will. Gotta log into this again. Oh man, how many times am I gonna log into things while I'm on this stream? How many times? At least 5 more. My login code. Okay. Okay. Let me go back to my giveaway tool. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do with it whenever it comes, which the giveaway will happen in 15 minutes for one piece of merch, which would be one of my 2 t-shirt designs that you can find over here. Nope, you can't find them there. You can find them here, though. One of these 2 t-shirt designs, either the FPV breakfast or the flying bacon, in the classic or the long sleeve. Any of the t-shirts, but not the hoodie, because the hoodies are way too expensive. Yeah, we're going to give one of those away. Frontline Fatal donated the money for that. So thank you, Fatal. Thank Fatal for being able to do that, because I have literally $0 with which to give anything away. But Fatal got you. Yeah, so in 14 minutes now we'll do that. Okay, I got everything set up. So borked. Electric bike, full throttle, no pedaling. That's not 20 miles of biking. That's 20 miles of riding. You didn't have to do the work. That's my kind of riding a bike right there. Man after my own heart. Let's see. Yeah, so talking about my budget build, it doesn't seem like it misses much. What's the thing you would upgrade with a better budget? The F4, the SpeedyBee F4 V3 is perfectly fine. I don't think I'd upgrade that. The motors, maybe I'd consider that. The camera and VTX, I think if I was going to spend any more money, the camera's okay. The camera's actually a pretty good camera. I might put a higher power VTX in it, something up to 1200 milliwatts. If I wanted to stay analog. Obviously, I could go digital if I wanted to upgrade it, but if I wanted to stay analog, I'd go over a watt. And then I would probably get some Xing motors, but I'd get the regular Xing line, or the Xing 2 line of motors, because they're still pretty affordable, but they come with better features like titanium shafts instead of steel shafts. better aluminum for the bell, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like if anything is going to go wrong on that build, it's most likely going to be the motor shaft, or you're going to just not like the 700 milliwatts the SpeedyBee has available to it on the VTX. So those are probably the two places I look to spend a little more money if I wanted to put another 50, 60 bucks in it. So let's see. RC Shenanigans, looking to build a really good freestyle rig, something that is tough and reliable. I've both bought and built drones. What's your suggestion on a frame and electronics that are powerful? Depends on what you're doing with the freestyle rig. Obviously, bashing is one thing. If you're not doing a whole bunch of bando bashing freestyle. The Quadmula Siren F5 split is a great frame. I haven't had any trouble out of mine. I have a couple of them on the wall. I have beat them to death way more than I have other quads, and they are doing really, really well. So I really recommend those. If you're not going to crash so much, the AOS 5 is a good frame, or the 5.5. I do feel, though, like the arms might be a bit of a problem if you're going to do a lot more crashing, but building on it is really, really good. The Armatan Beaver is a good frame, and it's got a lifetime warranty. It's a little bit more expensive, but the lifetime warranty is really nice. When you break an arm or something, they will totally replace it for you. It's not transferable if you were to sell it or if you buy it used, though. I don't believe it is. But those three would be kind of my top picks, and in fact, I'm looking at all three of them right now for my next perfect freestyle build. So those are the three that I would build on. As far as electronics, though, I tend to go with the SpeedyBee F7 V3. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but it has all the features that you need, and the ESC being 32-bit and completely capable of by RPM PWM all the way up to the top of the range is really, really nice, and I do like running that. So that's the stack that I tend to go with. If I didn't want to run that stack, I'm not sure. Any of the T-Motor Pro Series stacks are good. They're rock solid. The ESCs are built by one of the best ESC manufacturers around, Acon. So I would say that either a T-Motor Pro Series stack is going to last you a long time. I've not had any problems out of my SpeedyBee F7 V3s. Some people will tell you they have. I think they just sell a lot of them, and there's always that 1% of possibility. But that's the direction that I think I'd go with a good freestyle rig. One of those frames, and probably that for the stack electronics. What's up, Deadly M24? They need help. Hey, either shoot me a question here, and I'll try to answer it for you if it's not too lengthy of an explanation, or definitely hit me up on Discord if you need help, and I will I'll try to get you over there, and we can work through whatever it is you might need help with. Got Emax Eco II motors instead of mine. Yeah, the Emax Eco IIs are actually the other one I was looking at. I was looking at either the Xing E Pro or the Xing E, and the Emax Eco IIs, and at the time the Xings were just slightly cheaper somehow, so that's what I wound up putting on there. The E Pros or the Eco IIs are perfectly good motors too. All in all, they're going to perform basically the same. So yeah, perfectly good. RC Shenanigans. Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, I am looking at all of those frames right now currently and deciding the winner on who I want to fly for the rest of the year. I'm hoping by not January. I'm talking about July. I'm talking about over the next month. Hopefully, I'll pick one, and then I'll do a whole new build for my perfect freestyle build, because the Mark V, which is right there, has disappointed me greatly. I built that last year as my perfect freestyle build, and then GepRC decided to start selling arms that delaminate like nobody's business. So, yeah, not my favorite anymore. Okay, Deadly, you got a Cobra S. I want to shift to Walksnail. Which is better, get a VRX, or I sell my goggles and get O4L with VRX and get Fat Shark Recon HDs? The Fat Shark Recon HD, do they have that with Walksnail in? They would. Yeah, they have that. It depends on, so you have the Cobra S right now. Do you like the box style goggle, or do you prefer the binocular style? Because the Skyzone O4L being a binocular style it's not an OLED. I run the O4Ls, and they're very, very good goggles, and they work really well with Walksnail. Whenever you put a Walksnail VRX on anything, though, you're only going to get 60 FPS, which is not the low latency mode that Walksnail has. The only goggles that aren't made by Fat Shark or Walksnail that have the low latency mode right now are the HD0 goggles with their 100 FPS mode. So if you have the Cobra S right now, you could either upgrade to the Cobra X, which is OLED and a little nicer. You could upgrade to the O4L, which would be binocular style, or you can get the Fat Shark Recon HD. If I was going to spend the money, the Fat Shark Recon HD has everything built in, so you don't have to buy a separate VRX. But the antenna configuration isn't going to be ideal. So I really would put that one on the back burner. I would think about going O4L if you're not into the box style goggles. But if you are into the box style goggles, then I would consider either going to the Cobra X or just trying a VRX on your Cobra S. I don't remember if the Cobra S has an HDMI input. But if you don't feel like you want the box style goggles, the O4L is a pretty good bang for the buck when it comes to buying binocular style goggles. So I would look that way. I'm not a huge fan of the box goggles, so I like the binocular ones. I would look in that direction. Or there's always the option to just buy the actual Walksnail goggles or the not HD0, the Walksnail Avatar goggles or the Fat Shark Dominator HD. Because they will give you the best Walksnail experience possible. You just won't be able to fly anything else in them. So no analog quads. Kevin James. Yeah, I couldn't understand up arrow. Oh, that makes sense. I was like, what is this triangle with a question mark? I have no idea. Yeah, Deadly. If you don't have a ton of money, I would just put I would put a Walksnail VRX on your S's, man. That's what I'd do. I'd go with that plan. If you want to wait a little bit, I know you're saying you lost a quad and you probably aren't having a good experience with what you have right now, but there's a good possibility that Walksnail at some point is going to go through another round of selling the kits with different bundles. So you may be able to find a VRX and VTX kit that might save you some money for changing over to that system. Totally up to you. But that's probably the cheapest way to get in is with the VRX and just use what you have. So, Morton Upshot. I've seen my screen black out for 2 to 3 seconds with the O4L and Snail VRX. Have you heard of this? I have. Are you talking about at the very beginning of when you're like turning them on, or are you talking about in the middle of? What I've noticed on mine is that sometimes the cable, obviously it's finicky. Sometimes the cable isn't quite lined up all the way. Someone should really design a properly sized and oriented cable for the Sky Zone goggles and the Walksnail VRX. They would sell a ton of them. And I would do it, but I don't have any connections to people who would manufacture it, and it would be just totally hard for me to do and take forever. But if someone had any of those connections, they should totally find a way to make that the right size to work in Sky Zone goggles, because it doesn't fit very well. And I have the HD0 HDMI cable with a 90s on both ends, but one's oriented the wrong way. So it's a real pain. And when it's not in there perfectly, that micro HDMI or mini HDMI that's in there, it just, yeah, it's finicky. And sometimes I'll bump it and things will change. And then I'll bump it back, or I've got to restart the goggles. So that might be what you're seeing. Carbon Cage, huge fan of the box. Yeah. The only box goggles I like, and we'll call them box goggles, are the V2 DJI goggles. I actually prefer those to the binocular style goggles the DJI has. I don't know what it is. Everybody says they're chunky and they hate them. But the fit of that is just my thing. Morton Upshot says in flight. I bet it's that cable, man. I would try a different cable and see if that doesn't stop happening. If it doesn't stop happening, then it could be the connector on your goggles or the VRX. Normally, if you're blacking out on HDMI, it's usually a connector issue. Are you seeing any of the OSD elements still, or are you talking totally black screen? If you're totally black screen, it's most likely a cable or connector problem. If you're seeing OSD elements, though, then that could be something totally different. Deadly M24. Yeah, exactly what happened with me. My screen also got black and quad lost. Were you running... are you already running analog since you have the Cobra S's? Or are you talking about you already run Walksnail on that because you have a VRX? Jake H. I heard the Sky O2 X and C will run high FPS mode with the VRX. I don't know about that. I'll have to look into it. I have not seen any goggles yet that aren't HD0 that were designed to go above 60 FPS just because that's kind of the standard. They were designed to be used for plugging in like a monitor input or a TV input into them so you could watch content, but not so much for the kind of things we're doing with them now. But it's possible. I just don't know if they have the ability to drive the panels that fast. And since the O2 is a little older, a little smaller design, I'm not sure. But it would be interesting if they do. Yeah. Yeah, Morton Upshot says total blackout. I bet it's the cable. You just got the HTZ cable, but yet to fly it. Yeah, try it. Try it, because I bet it's the cable. There you go, Deadly M24. Jake H says he's got a VRX for $160. That's a good deal on a VRX. So $160, Jake H. Hit him up, Deadly M24. I know you asked this to Morton Upshot. How's the O4L and Walk Snail? It's good. It's good, but you're locked to 60 FPS mode. So if you're sensitive to latency and you don't feel like you can deal with the 40 milliseconds that you're going to get out of the O4X or O4L and VRX, then you won't have an option. So JK says I saw it on Reddit. I haven't tested it yet. I haven't seen any that have the native driver ability to do it. So I'd be really surprised. But I mean, I've been surprised before, so it's entirely possible. But I would figure that if they had that in their O2C, then the O4L and O4X would probably have some of the same panel drivers. And they'd probably have that in the higher series of goggles too, but they don't. So, all right. Deadly M24. If you want to, you can hit me up on Discord, and if you post it on YouTube with like a private link, just shoot me the link. But yeah, hit me up on Discord. All right, it is 3:29, and Fatal has sponsored a giveaway. Let me remind you what is up for the giveaway. It is these, my t-shirts. So you can get either the FPV Breakfast t-shirt here, t-shirt there. They come in different colors. I have quite a few different colors. Or you can get the classic tee with my Let's Get Greasy logo on it. I like the FPV Breakfast, but it's up to you. Not the hoodies, though. But we will give away one of these t-shirts here now. Let me get all that up and going. I have a thing. I have a thing to do. All right, so what you're going to want to do is type #bacon. Not yet. Not yet. Let me start it. You're going to want to type #bacon in the chat to get entered in the giveaway, and I'm starting now. So type #bacon, all one word, to get your name in the giveaway for this t-shirt. There are 32 people here, so you have a really good chance of getting it. There's not a ton of people in the stream right now. And we're going to let that run for the next 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, but type #bacon in the chat if you want to get in on this. There we go. There's some people getting in on it. Fun Pervolt's in on it. Apache, even though Apache is disqualified. Morton Upshot, Jake, Bort, Will, all getting in on it. There are 8 entries so far. Everybody's got a really good chance of winning. And this is brought to you by the lovely Fatal in my Discord and on this chat. I don't know if Fatal's still here. I haven't seen him in a minute, but he's sponsoring this. Even Carbon Cage is in on the giveaway. Deadly M24, you're going to want to type just #bacon to get in on that one. I had to put a keyword in, so yeah. FL Engineer. Everybody's getting in on the t-shirt giveaway. McMuffin. Carbon Cage. Not #McMuffin. That's a licensed product. We can't use that. Yes, Fatal. Yeah, you can jump in on the giveaway too, Fatal. I'll put your name in spirit. There you go, Deadly M24. You got it now. #bacon. RC Shenanigans thanks you, Fatal, by the way. Fatal is the benefactor of this here giveaway. Yeah, so I drew these by myself, so don't expect too much. I drew these shirt designs on my own. It was terrible, but yeah, I'll show it to you again. Let's open one up so you can see what you're actually in for here. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. It's sausages. The F has bacon and sausages, and then there's an egg in there. I want it to be all like breakfast foods, and they come in a few colors. Though I wouldn't recommend the white, but yeah, if you're into like pink or blue or gray, it was hard to find colors that worked well with these designs, but they do exist. And then this one says, "Let's get greasy" right there with a nice big bacon strip with wings. I even drew the back set of wings. Yeah, yeah. I drew these with a computer mouse and not a pen, so they're very cartoony. Apache, disqualification or not, I never win anything. Hey, you never know. This might be your chance. Could be. But if you're just now joining, make sure to type #bacon into the chat so you can get into our live stream. It's going to run for a few more, or not our live stream, our giveaway. Our live giveaway of one of my t-shirts. It's going to be over here in a few minutes, and then I will give it away because the stream is going to end in about 25 minutes. So we're going to do that well before. But definitely if you're joining in, hit #bacon. RC Shenanigans. That's pretty good for a computer. Yeah, it was. I mean, I have a background in graphic design. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that. I used to own a sign shop where we did cut it. We cut vinyl and made a bunch of signs, very big format signs, and I would draw all that. And I also did a lot of web design where I had to do a bunch of drawing with a mouse. So it's not my first time, but I am definitely not what you consider to be an artist. That's for sure. I'm not an artist. Fun provoked keto humor. Yeah, that's how I got the name actually. I was on a really good keto diet where I lost a lot of weight. I'm sure you've heard me say that before, or some people have. But I made myself Bacon Ninja for my gamer tag because I ate a lot of bacon at the time, which I still do eat a lot of bacon. It's just more expensive now. Bacon is so expensive. All right. We're going to give that a few more minutes. It was like a 44-gallon drum with a handle. Better be something good in there, bacon. It's just water, Carbon Cage. It's just water. I promise. It's just water. No, really, it is just water. I'm boring like that. I never drink. I never ever drink. Not that I don't I don't have anything against it. I don't know. I don't like to be. I'm one of those people that doesn't like the feeling of that for some reason. Expensive or not, you can't live without baked bacon. You can. It's just harder. So you can't live without it. Baking bacon is good though. Baking bacon, when you've baked bacon, I can't say it a bunch of times. Anyway, if you haven't ever baked bacon in an oven, it's very good. It's also very greasy. So vodka water. It's not vodka water. That would be a problem. It's not potato water, I promise. Kevin James getting in on the giveaway. Okay, we're going to do the giveaway in about 4 more minutes. So if you haven't yet, make sure to type in #bacon so you can be part of the giveaway for one of my wonderfully hand-drawn t-shirts. One of my 2 options for hand-drawn t-shirts. Yeah. That Fatal is sponsoring. He's also in the chat. Couldn't do it without it because I'm broke. But apparently Fatal had 25 extra bucks. All right. Let's see here. 4 more minutes in this giveaway. What else should I do for t-shirt designs? So like I said, I've got the 2 you saw. I've got the FPV breakfast and then I've got the flying bacon one. But what do you think? What do you think I should add to that? What would you like to see? I know that I should probably add a bacon hat. I've also got some other ideas that I've written down in places that I need to draw. But Like, I'm not a great artist, so I can't draw anything super complicated. They have to be pretty simple. But I'm wondering what other plays on bacon would be cool with FPV. So, yeah. Saved images got in on the giveaway. First squadron. Barney baked bacon. Bake bacon before bedtime. That's some alliteration right there. All bees. Okay, Carbon Cage, you're starting to scare me. Human bacon is interesting. Try it. Should I eat myself? I only eat carbon. I don't eat bacon suits. Hey, Deadlim24. Yeah, I will totally check that out. The stream is going to be over here in a minute. I will check it out, and then I'll write you back over there. I can't actually check it on the stream right now, because if I start up Discord, things are going to go crazy. My computer is barely holding on right now. But yeah, I will totally watch that after the stream is over, and I'll write you back on it. The quad with bacon props. I've thought about doing that, but I feel like every time I draw a quad, the perspective's wrong. So when I get it all laid out and I draw it, the perspective's all wrong for the way the props look. I nearly have to have someone draw it for me, which I'm not against. I just don't have any money to pay anybody to do it. And I don't know anybody that could do it for me, and like I'd owe them one. So that's why I haven't done it. But yeah, that'd be a really cool idea. I don't know how to make that happen. Yeah. Should try to do some bacon battery straps. I've had that idea. It would be super awesome. I'd love to take like the RDQ straps that are carbon fiber and then overlay them with some kind of bacon print would be really cool. As long as it didn't crack. Because if it cracked and got nasty looking, I would not like that my name's on it. But what I want that, and then I want Gym Fan. If anybody knows somebody at Gym Fan, please have them talk to me. Because I would love to have Gym Fan make some of their props, like the Vanny props they have right now. But I'd love them to print bacon strips on the top of the prop, because they print like Christmas ones. So I know they can do it. I don't know that they care about me at all, but I would love to have it done. So, yeah. Let me know if anybody knows anybody at Gym Fan. Come on. Yeah, Jake H, that's a no-go on the high FPS mode on O2X. Yep, I thought it would be. I just can't imagine the driver in there is any better than the ones in the more expensive goggles. And I know they don't have the 100 FPS. So it would be really cool if they did, though, because I'd love to see 100 FPS come to more goggles and make that possible. Bacon props, sausage battery cells. Yeah, sausage battery cells would be cool, too. Yeah. Saved images. You should absolutely study fluid mechanics. It's gonna be worth more to you in the long run, I promise, than watching this happen. This whole thing that's going on. Bacon, making bacon. Should I have my wife take a picture of me cooking bacon and then put it on a t-shirt? I could do that. First squadron. I'll do it. You talking about the drawing? If you are, hit me up. He'll send some sketches on Discord. He is talking about it. Hell yeah. I would love that. I would love to know some people that could help me make merch that's cool. And I'd even let you sign it and put your name on it. I don't care. I just want people to wear cool shirts. I don't even care about making money on it. Carbon Cage, yes, you can. You can draw me some merch. Draw it for me. I'll let you put your name on it. Like I said, I have no bearing on. I'm not like worried about my name being out there and making money on it. I just want people to have cool shirts that are themed in a certain way, because I think they're just really awesome. Model it in Rhino and render it in perspective view. That's a good idea. I can actually model better than I can draw. So that might be a good idea, actually. All right. It is time to give away the shirt. Let's see. Let's see here. Who's going to win it? I'm going to press the button. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Bort. And like literally, okay, so Bort, you won. You won the t-shirt. Bort, hit me up. Hit me up on the Discord. Absolutely hit me up. I'm going to ask you a question, though, to validate that it's you. So if you're not Bort, don't hit me up. And if you're not on Discord, Bort, you can go get my email address from the about page of my YouTube channel. Hit me up. We'll get you that t-shirt. But I swear, Apache, who has said this whole time he never wins anything, and I kept telling him he was disqualified. His name was the one right before it. And it nearly stopped on it. And I thought, oh crap, it's going to be Apache. Nope, it was Borked. Borked won. Congratulations, Borked. Hopefully you're still here. Hopefully you're still here to get it. Ah, there you go. There's Borked. Right on, Bacon. I'm on Discord. Yep. I knew you were. Just, yeah. I just want to make sure. I'm giving you, it's equal opportunity here. But, yeah. Hit me up, Borked. You got a t-shirt, and you can thank Fatal. Fatal didn't win his own shirt, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Cool cat. I might be having an acid flashback, but is Bacon Ninja dressed as a piece of bacon? Of course he is. I missed the whole ninja part though. I should have put something else to like, but that would have been a problem. That could have been a problem to wear a ninja outfit for me. Yeah, congratulations, Borked. Everybody's giving you some congratulatory comments. Carbon Cage, you're a graphic designer and tattooist for 20 years. I'll have to play around on Procreate. Man, that's cool. So if you're a tattoo designer, let's put some things together here. If I get to 100 followers on Patreon, I need something to do. But I considered getting a bacon tattoo or a Bacon Ninja FPV themed tattoo. What if you drew a tattoo for me to get when I get to 100 patrons? Instead of wearing a stupid bacon suit like I'm doing now. I could totally get a tattoo. I have a good artist here in town. I would totally get it, and I would film it and show it to you, to everybody. But if you wanted to draw that, Carbon Cage, I would totally be down to take a couple of options that you draw and let people pick, and I'd get the thing they pick. I'd let them pick the tattoo that goes on my body. Yeah. Okay. Let me know, Carbon. That's so cool. Yeah. You say Borked, and I hear the Swedish Chef from the Muppets. Bork! Bork, bork. I always look delicious, cool cat. If your idea of delicious is the opposite of delicious, I look delicious. Yeah. The good thing, what I'm going to say that's great about this bacon suit is I didn't have to brush my hair before the live stream. Because it's all hidden. I just have a little bit of beard sticking out. You can't see all the grayness that's been added over the last couple of days. Oop, I hit the wrong Apache. No, I can't do the tattoo live. They won't let me. I've tried this. I got a tattoo on the back of my leg. It's a Star Wars tattoo. It says "That's no moon," and it's a black outline of the Death Star. Yeah, and it's a cartoony themed that Star Wars thing. Anyway, they would let me record it, but I couldn't like live stream it. So I've tried that, but I might be able to work it out with the tattoo guy. I don't know. He might feel a bit differently about it now. Rotor Geek, why would I be concerned about that? Why would that be a concern? It would be a controlled choice, though, because someone would have to draw, like, if Carbon's willing to do it, which it sounds like he might be, if Carbon's willing to do it in, like, a couple of different variations, I'd let them pick between the variations. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to let you put whatever you want on me, because that would just be terrible. I can only imagine the kind of nightmares I would have permanently attached to myself. But I would totally let them, pick between 2 or 3 and see what's up. I would do that. Yeah, hit me up for sure, Carbon Cage. Hit me, yeah. Have a chat with me through email and we can work on that because that would be super awesome. Fun per Volt, Rebel Scum. Are you playing the new Star Wars game, Fun per Volt? Because I am. It's good. It's really good. JB in leather pants. No. Please no. Not that. Anything but that. I don't think I could never look at Joshua Bardwell the same if I had him on my body in leather pants. No. But yeah, that'd be totally cool. I can only imagine what kind of awesome stuff that would wind up with. I've been thinking for a while that I'm obviously going to do FPV for the rest of my life. It's just a thing. Unless it gets like literally taken from us at a governmental level, I'm going to do it forever. So I would not be opposed to having a tattoo related to it. So yeah, it would be really cool to do. And I think doing that for 100 patrons at the 100 patron point would be really cool too. So man, it's a good stream tonight. We've given away an awesome t-shirt, which, oh, by the way, Bort, if you go to my, I don't know where to send you. If you go to my YouTube videos, in fact, probably in this one, in the description, there should be a link to my merch store at Bonfire. Go pick out what you want, for sure. Pick out what you want between the two designs, anything but the sweater and the color and stuff, and let me know when you send me that email or hit me on Discord. When you hit me up on Discord, because you are on Discord. But yeah, we've given away that. I've maybe committed to putting ink in my body. It's a good time. I'm wearing a plastic piece of bacon on my face. I'm sweating like a hog underneath this, but you can't see it. It smells like bacon. Yeah, JB is a great guy. I have signed up for his Patreon. I actually am his patron. I've been his patron for 2 years now. He's on mine as well, which was super surprising. Like, it was great of him to support. It's amazing that someone in the position that he is to have one of the biggest followings for YouTube FPV people to still support little YouTube channels. It's amazing. Because honestly, without support from you guys and everybody on Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee and the channel members, it would be impossible for me to do any of this. Like just this quad here. Just this quad here, if I had to buy it myself, so the parts came off of a Darwin that I had already modified. But if I had to build this quad myself, it would take me 6 months to be able to pay for it in the FPV budget that I'd have. So there's no way that I could do anything interesting with builds if it wasn't for you guys. So yeah, Fun Per Volt, go JB. Yeah, JB's awesome. But before you say he's too awesome, go look at that thumbnail for the video he just put out, because it's terrifying. But that's the point. I think he was trying to be terrifying, but it is terrifying. Like, literally, I'm having nightmares about it now. I saw it once, and terrifying. All right, well, we're going to wrap the stream up in about 10 minutes. So if you have any last-minute questions, let me know. If I've asked you to write me on Discord, it'll be a few minutes till I can get back with you. I got to shut all this stuff down and go check in on things I haven't checked in on in 2 years. 2 hours. It feels like 2 years. So if I've asked you to write me on Discord, definitely do, and I'll write you back. Kevin K, thank you so much for a €3 super chat. €3. I always thought euros were cool. The coins look awesome. And the paper money is so colorful compared to my paper money. I never have any paper money anymore. But euros are like, it's a really cool currency. Carbon Cage. That thumbnail scared me. Yes. Yes, it did. Oh, Fun Per Volt. If you saw the opening to Bot stream in the leather pants, you'd get it. I haven't been able to watch any of Bot's streams lately. They're always on Fridays, and I am editing videos while he's streaming, and I can't do both at the same time. Or like yesterday, I was working on my computer. So, yeah. Borked. He succeeded. I didn't need a shirtless JB. At least it had the red. It could be worse if it was just straight up regular light. Gap Rock. Canadian money is colorful too. Canadian rubles. Yep. Canadian rubles. I watch a lot of Linus Tech Tips, and he's always calling them like Canadian Federation tokens or something. It's interesting. Yeah, Cobra X, but it has too much latency. They're all going to have a lot of latency with the VRX because they're going to have 60 FPS mode. So basically, the Cobra X, the Cobra S, the O4L, and the O4X, the Dominator, the Fat Shark HD O2s, they are going to have varying amounts of latency. Some of them are going to be more than others. A lot of that's down to how the testing is. So the testing is objective, but it's not over an extended amount of time or in various scenarios. So real world numbers are going to vary a bit, but they're all going to have quite a bit of latency because it's only going to operate in 60 FPS mode. The latency that you're going to feel in walk snail is going to be at least double what you feel in analog. Basically, as just a general starting point. It could go up from there. Now, that's not to say that it's not a good experience, because you totally can fly with that kind of latency, but it may take an adjustment period. So, definitely. Oh my God, what was that thumbnail? Yeah, it was a terror. Yeah, Carbon Cage. I want to, I would literally have no time to make any of the videos, though. I entered a couple of his things a long time ago when I was first starting the channel out and I wasn't making as much content, and I had more time to fly. But right now, I'm working so much that I can't leave work to fly. And I make one video a week because that's about all I can really get done. So between the working 60 hours and then spending another 10 to 15 hours a week doing this stuff, I would just never have any time to make anything, and I would be a totally terrible competitor. So it's awesome that he does them. I love that he does it, and that, I always wanted one of the challenge coins, but I just couldn't ever. I could never get there. I couldn't commit that amount of time. Zadokin, yo, you have any recommendations for budget motors for 3-inch 3 to 4S freestyle? Yes. How big do you like your motors? For budget, the Emax, I run the Emax Eco 2004s, the Eco II 2004s. They are big motors, but you can get them in a 4S KV. You can put 3-inch props on them. They are relatively cheap. But the general motor size that you're going to see is going to be a 1404. I don't know who makes an Eco line in 1404. If Xing makes an Eco, yeah, they make a regular one. They're $15 a piece. Let's see if Emax makes that size motor in their Eco 2 series. No, they don't. I don't see it. 2004, 2306. I don't know a whole lot of people that are doing budget motors in the 1404. But if you like really big motors, the 2004s are great. They are bigger than normal, though. Cool Cat Lewis Rossman did a video on the Orca goggle bricking debacle. It's worth a watch. I'll check it out. I leave all my YouTube watching for Sundays. What is the latency of Avatar Fat Shark HD goggles? So I don't know for sure, because I don't have equipment sensitive enough to do it. Chris Rosser does, and I think JB did some testing, but I want to say if Chris Rosser has done it, I tried his results for sure. Those are the ones you want to look at. It's going to be at least, though, in the 60 FPS mode, at least 30 milliseconds. In the 100 FPS mode, it'll be less than that potentially, because if you're talking about latency or total frame time, it's different things. Total frame time meaning the time from when the thing happens to when you see it in the goggles. Latency being the time from when it happens to when it is received in the goggles. It actually takes extra time to display frames at 60 FPS versus 100. So it can be a little bit different. But anywhere from 25 to 35 milliseconds in 100 FPS and 30 to 50 milliseconds at 60 FPS. So it's roughly very close to what DJI V2 is doing, and the goggles, the Avatar or Fat Shark Dominator HD goggles, are going to be the best experience for it. Even though the VRX gives you the same capability, it has an extra buffer for putting it over HDMI. So you're adding a buffer by going over HDMI to another HDMI device, who then has to buffer it into their driver. So you're adding a little bit of latency to go over HDMI. If you get to skip that by using the Avatar goggles or the Fat Shark HD goggles, then it's a little bit better. Hey, thanks for your membership. I cannot pronounce the name, though. I'm sorry. I'm going to call you Matt. That's all I can say. When you start putting lines over letters, I don't know what it means because I am not smart enough. But thank you so much for being a channel member. There are very few channel members, so you are part of a really small select group. Thank you so much for being part of it. Rotor Geek, thank you for a $5 super chat. What's the build project? Which build project? What build project are you talking about? I'm confused. What's the build project? Oh, what's the next build project? I see you corrected yourself. Hold on. Hold on a minute. It's right here. And this lovely heart themed envelope. It is an AOS 5. That's what this is. This came from Chow FPV. Chow, thank you very much, Chow. We traded some frames. I have yet to build it, but I have all the parts like laying around now. It's taken me 2 months to collect the money to be able to buy motors and get a stack sponsored. So that's why it's not built yet. But that's the next one. We're going to try it out. We're going to see if it's any good. We're going to put it to the test. And then I also have, in that same vein, a beaver down there. I keep my beaver down there. If you didn't know, that's where I put my beaver. Yeah. What's up, Flush FPV? You're catching the end of the stream. We're only 2 minutes out from the end. Only 2 minutes. We've given away a shirt today. We have decided that I will get tattooed at 100 patrons. I will get a tattoo. My wife is going to hate it. She'll either hate it or she'll love it. I don't know. Either way, it could go either way. I'm not quite sure. Cool cat. Nobody sends me heart-themed envelopes. I didn't ask for one. I asked Chow why he sent it in a heart-themed envelope. He said it was the closest thing to where he was shipping it. So, like, he walked into the post office. That was the nearest thing. He sent it in February, which would be Valentine's Day. Yeah. So there you go. What motors for the AOS 5? They're going to be RCM Power GTS V4s. GTS V4s. That's what they're going to be with the 2020 kV. And I'm going to run the SpeedyBee F7 V3 stack. And I'm probably going to put Walksnail in it. Because I have some Walksnail VRXs. Or VTXs. Flush fell asleep. You got to wake up, man. You can go back to sleep in a minute, though. Fun per volt. That frame in 8S. I don't have anything 8S, though. I need 4S packs to make 8S out of. I don't have any of that stuff. I have to invest so much money to go 8S that I don't already have. Yeah, Deadly M24, I totally will check that out. As soon as I get this wrapped up and put everything away and check on things, I will see what you sent me, and we'll check it out. Because if you have the DVR of it, maybe I'll be able to see something going on with it. In analog, it's really weird to get a black screen. I'm gonna say though that if you are getting a black screen, there's a couple of reasons for it, but we'll go over those. I'll look at it first before I give you any pointers, just to rule anything out. So, well, all right, everybody, it is 4 o'clock here, whatever time it is for you, and that is the end of our stream. Thank you all so much for the super chats and the support, and for making me wear this bacon costume. Those of you that are patrons, you are the reason. All 41 of you now, you are the reason for this. And apparently when I get to 100 patrons, I will be getting some kind of tattoo done that Carbon Cage is probably going to draw. So that's an interesting time. If you want to sponsor the terrible idea that is, then you can head over to my Patreon. If you want to sponsor any of the builds that I'm going to do, which is going to be a bunch of new perfect freestyle build things to try out, trying new motor stacks and things like that. My Patreon, I have a Buy Me a Coffee or channel memberships, which thank you so much for becoming a channel member earlier. Yeah, we have 4 now. So if you want to be part of a very small select group, the channel members do exist. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging in there. I'm going to go take this plastic suit off. And until next time, stay greasy, and I'll catch you later.